Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. In this class, we will talk about some coding questions as well as some concepts regarding the functions. Okay. So suppose we have one number A, and if it is negative, okay, and if we want to convert it to a positive number, we can use one function called math library. Okay. Suppose if we do console.log of math, okay, dot, in this math library we have one function called absolute, which is the shortcut of abs. So you can give abs of a, okay, which gives absolute value, okay, and if you just console log it, it will print the positive number. Any doubts, anyone?
Can you please repeat again?
Yeah. Suppose if we have one negative number, okay, and if we want to convert it to a positive number, we can do it by using math dot absolute. We have one library called math, okay. In that we have one function called abs, which is nothing but full form of absolute. For that, you will pass which negative value you want to convert. Here, in case the negative value is 5. So if you give math dot absolute of A, it will give you a positive number. Okay, understood, right? Now we will solve one coding question. Okay, let an array, and in this we have 1, -2, -3, 4, -5. This is the input. Okay, now I expect the output to be -2, okay, -3, and -5. Basically, the only negative values. Can someone tell me how can we proceed? So basically, what is happening in that array?
We
Which
need
loop?
the filter first.
Yes, we need to loop and filter. Correct. So which we will use?
Map function.
Why map? What we are
Map.
doing? We are filtering, right? The size
Yes.
of 5 values has been reduced to 3, which means that we are filtering. Correct. In case of
Yes.
filtering, what we will use? Filter method, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can someone tell me how to write it?
ARR dot filter.
Okay. Air or dot filter. Okay.
Bracket element.
So, okay. Element. Okay.
Arrow function arrow.
Okay. Now, just now I told you about some logic, if you remember. So, you will take element by element, right? Okay. Now, you will check if the absolute of number is equal to the element or not. You need to filter, right? So what I'm trying to tell, I will just first write the code and then explain you. Okay. If the element equal to the math dot a absolute of element, okay, then we will return that element. I just run it. Okay. Now I will try to explain you. First, what value you will get in the element? First, what value you will get in the element?
1.
One,
One.
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 Initial value,
Yeah,
1.
1. So here what condition we are checking? I said the negative values will be converted to positive and positive values will be always positive, right? This function is only used for converting negative values to positive. Okay. Now, if you check, we are giving this condition. What is that? Element 1 not equal to. What is the absolute value of 1?
1 only.
1.
1
1
only.
not equal to 1? False, right? So, no, now element will be returned. Next, what element we will get?
-2.
-2.
-2 we will get, correct. Now, what we are doing, we are giving -2 not equal to. What is the absolute value of -2?
+2.
+2, correct. So, it will be 2. -2 not equal to 2? Correct, right?
True.
Yes.
True. Yes.
Then what will be returned? So, -2 will be stored
-2
in
will
the
be
output array. Okay. Now, the next, which element will be accessed?
-3.
-3. Okay. Now, -3 not equal to. What is the absolute value of -3?
3.
+3.
3. So, -3 not equal to 3. True, right? Then
Yes.
-3 will be returned. Okay. Next, 4. Okay. Now, 4. What is the absolute value of 4?
4.
4. So, it is false.
False.
It is not returned. Next, -5. Okay. And what is the absolute value of -5?
+5.
+5. And it
True.
is true. And the value will be returned. Any doubts, anyone?
No.
Okay.
No.
Now, I want the output to be 1, 4. Okay. But not -2, -3, -5. How can I modify this function? These pieces of code?
You don't need to modify. You will use else function there.
No, no.
After that.
Need to write only equal to
Yes.
equal to.
You should use equal to. If the element value is equal to the absolute value of that element, then that element will be returned. Okay. Anyone wants me to explain that as well? Anybody wants the explanation? Like how it returned 1, 4.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now what I'm trying to tell. Now what will be the first element? What is the first element in the array?
1.
1. Okay. Then the element will be 1. 1 equal to what is the absolute value of element? What is the absolute value? 1. So 1 equal to 1, right? So what it will return? It returns true and 1 is returned. Okay. Now we'll go to what is the next element?
2.
2 or
-2.
-2?
Fold some more. Fold.
-2. What is the absolute value of -2? What is the absolute value of -2?
+2.
Sleeping.
2.
+2.
+2. Okay. -2 not equal to 2, right? So this is false, right? Nothing will be returned. Understood, right? The concept. Suppose if you are telling else condition in the previously, okay, it will again return the same input. Here you are returning, here you will again return, then it will give you the same output. Okay, there will be no difference in the output and input. Any doubts, anyone? Can we proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have one string. Okay. Let str. Okay. And its name is big fat bubble. Okay. This is the string. Now I want to find out how many number of B characters were there in this array. Okay, got it. For example, how many B's are there? 1,
4.
2, 3, 4. So the output should be 4. How can we do that? Anyone can tell? Just think normally. So to count
str dot length of file.
str dot length. Why
Yeah.
the length came here? Str dot length will give the length of the string. But based on length of the string, how will you know how many number of B characters are there?
Loop. We have to use loop.
We have to use
Loop.
loops, correct. So what will be the condition here? You will go through the loop, you will take each character, and what will be the condition here?
If element equal to
Mm,
b dot string.
no, if the element equal to letter B, then you will increment the count. Okay.
Yes.
So for
Yes.
this, what you will do, you will outside you will maintain one variable count. Okay. To it,
Okay.
you will initialize one value called 0. Okay. And now what you will do, you need to first loop through this string. But
Yes.
we know only looping through arrays, correct? Either you can use for each, okay, map or filter. So in our case, the map and filter will return you a new array, correct?
Yes.
But are we returning a new array? No, we are just counting the characters. Okay. For this use case, you can use for each.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Now, how can you convert a string to an array?
By using split.
By split.
Yes. Using split function, you have converted to array. Okay. Now, what you will do? Which iteration? Which
For
loop
each iteration.
function? Yeah.
For each.
You can use for each. Okay. And in this, what you will do? You will take the
Condition.
element, right? Element or the value, anything. And you will take callback function. And what you will do here? If val, tell the condition.
If val equal to letter B.
Yes. If the val equal to, since this is a string, we are giving B in the strings, correct? If the
Yes.
val equal to B, then what we will do? We will just increase this count
Plus
equal to count plus 1. Either this thing or we can do something called count plus plus, which will increase the count value. Okay. So generally people use count plus plus. Okay. Now if we do console.log of count, it will tell the number of characters in the B. Number of B characters in the string.
Okay.
4. Now, if I want to find how many F characters are there in the string, how can you modify this function?
Instead of B only, we have
Instead
to
of
use F.
B, we have to give F.
F.
F, correct. 1. Suppose I want to find out how many Z characters are there in this array.
Then we'll use Z in the place of it.
Correct. Now, what will be the output?
0 count.
0.
Yes, 0. Why? Because you have initially assigned it with 0 value, and after assigning, you are incrementing if this condition is true.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone, any doubts?
No.
Okay. For example, if you don't you might get doubt like why we are not initializing why we are initializing 0. Okay, suppose if you if you doesn't initialize the value 0 to the count, it will be like, what will be the default value if you are not assigning anything?
Yes. 1.
What is the
0.
default value for any variable if you are not assigning any value?
Undefined.
Yes,
Undefined.
it will be undefined.
Undefined.
So you are
Undefined.
doing what you are doing. You are doing undefined plus plus, which is wrong, right? It will give you an error. Okay. This is wrong, right? So you will not understand actually what's happening. So if you need to initialize some initial value if you want to increment anything. Okay, got it? Yeah. Now I will come to a basic question. Finding sum of numbers in an array, which is very simple, right? I will not even talk one word. Some of you should tell me how to do it. Okay. Let b equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if we add this number, what will be the output?
6.
6.
Okay.
6.
Can someone tell me how can we do this? Can someone tell me how can we get this output 6? Finding sum of the numbers, that's it.
Let sum equal to
Correct. Let sum equal to,
0.
yeah, initial value will be always 0 since you are doing the addition of the numbers. Okay. Then,
condition.
what condition? What condition is there here?
No.
No condition, right?
Yes, yes.
What you need to do now?
Sum may be
To add elements in the array, what you need to do first? You need to first access each element, right?
yes
How can you do that?
by using
Map. Loops.
Loops. Which loop is the perfect one here?
For.
map. I think
Why map? What is the output of a
For
map?
each.
Correct.
For
For
each.
each is correct. What is the output of a map? Map will return always a new array, right? So when
Yes.
your output is expecting an array, then only you will use map. Okay. Otherwise, you will not be using it. Even for filter, the output will be in the form of an array. But in case of for each, the output will be undefined. Okay. And are you returning anything of array type here in the output?
no.
No, it's number.
Yes, so you should use for each always. Okay. Now tell me
Okay.
how to do it.
B dot
Okay.
split.
For each.
Split.
Why split? Why
It is
split?
in array formula.
B dot for each.
Yeah. When you use a split, two strings, you will use a split in order to convert it to an array. What is this? This is already an array, right? Then why do you need to use a split function? Got it?
Yes, yes.
People are not watching the videos. If you are doing like this, I will not record the session itself. What it will expect?
Value.
Yes,
Value or
value. Okay, then what we need to do? What will be the, what we need to do? We are doing addition, right? To what we will add?
Sum plus plus.
Sum plus plus. What will be the sum value initially? 0. 0 plus plus 1. 1 plus plus 2. 2 plus plus 3. 3 plus 3 is 4. It will be right. Now what I said, we need to add the values in the array.
Sum is equals to sum equals to
You are
Mm,
getting the value. You need to add it to sum. What you will do it? You are getting each element in the array, correct? You will get first 1, then 2,
Sum equal to val plus
sum equal to, correct,
val plus plus.
sum plus val.
Okay.
1 minute. హలో నాన్న చెప్పు నాన్న. ఇప్పుడు కాదు, నేను క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నాను, ఇంటికి కొడతాను. తర్వాత కొడతాను, నేను మళ్ళీ చేస్తాను. So what happens is basically is that don't think anything that I am telling angrily. I am telling for your sake, okay? If you get job, if you go somewhere, if you are struggling, okay, you will lose the job in 1 to 2 months if you don't learn any basics of what's happening in the programming. Even if you have taken what is that support and all, but just eventually you need to learn and you need to survive in this field, right? So you need to learn everything. If you are, I'm just telling only for 1 hour in a day, you have 24 hours, right? So you need to practice and you need to know for what you are using which functions and all. Otherwise you people are the one who is going to suffer in the company. I am not the one. If I am telling anything, that is for your goodness, okay? If I hurt
Okay.
anyone, okay, don't feel bad. I'm telling for your good only, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to think logically. You just need to know how even before writing any piece of code, you need to know like what we need to do to get the output, okay? We will initialize one variable to 0. To this variable, first I will add 1, okay? First I will add 1, then what will be the sum value? It will become 1. To this again, what you will add? You will add the second value, 2, okay? Then what value it will become? It will become 3, okay? Then what will be the next value? It's 3, right? To this already existing 3, you will add one more element, then you will get 6, okay? You need to think like that. Then this is what I have told. This line, single line of code is what is this, okay? You are taking a value, you are adding it to summation, and you are assigning it to some variable, okay? Now if you print the sum, you will get the value of 6. Sorry, 1 second. Unexpected token filter element. Any doubts, anyone?
No.
I struggled a lot in my first company. That's why I'm stressing this much and taking every program and trying to explain you the logic, okay? I don't want you people to suffer like me. You should learn everything. You should be in a state where if any small question is there, you need to program, you need to debug, you need to understand what's really happening in that program. Okay?
No.
Yeah. Be strong and work hard. Yeah. Now I will say the input is 1, 2, 3. Okay. But I want the output to be multiplication. Okay. 1 star, 2 star, 3. What is its value? It's also 6. Okay. Okay. I want the output to be like this. For example, take 4 elements. 1 star 2, 2. 2 3s are 6. 6 4s are 24. The output will be 24. Okay. Now how can we do? How can we do it?
Sum star value.
Let multiplication equal to
Multiplication. So what, tell me the logic. So you know you are getting a single output, correct? So
yes.
Yes.
and you know the input is an array. So what you need to do, you need to loop through it to get each element. Okay. So since you
Yes.
are not returning any array from the output, that means that you can use simple for each. Okay. So you will maintain one outside variable. Now initial value, what you will go, what you will give.
1.
Initial value is 1
Super.
here.
Super. It will be 1. Why? Because if you give 0, 0 into 0, everything will be 0.
already.
So some value will be 1 here. And what you will do here, you will multiply everything.
Mu-
So first, one, some value is 1, and you will get initial value as 1. Then output is 1, and 1 is stored in the sum. Okay. Next,
Yes.
some value is 1. Okay. You are multiplying, and next value is 2, and you are assigning it to sum again. It will be 2. Correct. Now some
Yes.
value is 2, and you are multiplying it with 3. So some value will get stored as which value? This
6.
value, right? 6 will be stored.
6.
Next, some value will be
Somewhere is
and star.
6.
The value will
4.
be 4. Now finally 24 is stored into the
24.
sum. Now no more elements after this, so we will come out of the loop and some value will be printed. Okay. Any doubts till now?
No.
Okay.
no.
No.
Please practice all of these things. Okay. You should be
Okay.
able to practice. Otherwise, you will not tell anything wrong if you are practicing. Suppose if you don't understand, in the next day you can directly ask me in the class why we are using map, why not filter. You need to tell those things. Okay. కొంచెం sound తగ్గించు. Now I will talk something about called literals. Okay. Literals in JavaScript. Okay. So basically, I have one name. Okay. Name variable, and that name is Anusha. Okay. So to print in the console.log, okay, I want to print my name, okay, using a string value. How can we do it? We will just use some codes.
Uppercase.
Suppose we have one more variable, okay, print name, okay. So in this, I want to print some more information like, hello, I am Anusha. So instead of, if I do something like console.log of print name, okay, it will just print hello one, I am Anusha. Okay, suppose I don't want to hard code my name here. Instead, I want to use something called name. Okay, what we can perform here? I told you something like concatenation, string concatenation and all.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Dot.
Yes.
String concatenation.
Yes.
So what can I do here?
Dot concat.
No. Dot concat is for combining arrays. Combining two arrays. And so I told about string concatenation.
Plus name.
Yes. So if you remember,
Plus name.
I told there are two ways of using this plus. One is for adding the numbers. Okay. One is for concatenation. If you remember, concatenation meaning is that it will combine two strings. It will combine one number and a string and number. You people remember? I told you
Yes.
Yes.
several examples, right? 16 plus Anusha.
Yes.
it will
Yes.
return as 16 Anusha. So what is this? This is called a string concatenation, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So if we print it out, it will be hello Anusha. Okay. Suppose if you want to change any name, you can dynamically change it. Okay. There is another way of writing this, accessing this variable directly in the string. Okay. Those are called as literals that we can do using, this is the syntax. You should always use backticks. Okay. And you need to give whatever text you want. You can give hello, I am. Now you need to use one variable. Correct. So for that, to specify that you are using a variable, you will give something called dollar and then flower braces. Okay. In this, you can directly give the name and it will print hello, I am Anush. Hello, I am Delhi. Any doubts? Suppose if you want to give some more text, you can give anything you want. Okay. Now to this, I want to append hometown. Okay. And it's Guntur. Okay. Now, how can I use this hometown in this print name?
Plus home name.
Name
Hometown. Plus hometown.
hometown.
Plus is used for string concatenation. Now, I am telling in reference of templates, literals. Sorry, template literals. So in the literals, what I said, if you are using any variable, you need to indicate it with dollar, okay, braces and the
Dollar
variable
hometown.
name. Yes. Now you can give dollar, braces and hometown.
Hometown.
Okay. Now you can write it. Suppose if you want to print some more text after this hometown, what you can do? You can directly give the string. Got it? Any doubt in this?
No.
No, Anusha.
Okay. I will tell you. So in case of string concatenation, what happens is that, okay, you want to give whatever string you want. Hello, I am so and so. Suppose if you want to use your name here, if you give directly your name here, you can see it will get attached into a, this will get attached to the name directly. Sorry, I'm not printing it. You can see as soon as AO is completed, Delhi got attached to AO. Correct. Suppose if you want to
Yes.
put a space, what you can do, you can give plus and then colons and some space and plus. Okay. And again, if you want to write some more context, again you will be giving quotation and again you will be writing some content. Then again plus, again quotations, which used to give the space. Okay. Then again plus and what you will give, hometown. So instead of writing this explicitly, this all can be written in one line using this template literals. So if anyone asks you about template literals, what you can say, you can just say it starts with backticks and we can write whatever string data we want and we can access the variables using dollar in the flower braces and we can give the variable name. Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Now, this is about the template literals. Okay. Literals in the JavaScript. Now, we will talk about function execution. In a sense, I told about execution context with the simple code, right? When we have functions included in the main file, then how the execution will happen, I will let you know. Okay. Now we have something called let A. equal to 5. Okay. Now console.log of A will give me some value. Now I have one function. How can we declare a function? How we should write a function? How we will write a functions in JavaScript?
Function name.
Yes, function always starts with function keyword in the JavaScript. Okay, so you will declare it with function keyword. And what we need to give next?
Any name.
Yeah, function name. So my name. Okay, and in this we have let ans equal to 1. Okay, and we can just do console.log of ans. And to invoke this function, what we need to do?
Return.
Call my name.
We need to call this function, invoke this function. This is just declaration. Okay, you are just declaring how the function is. Okay, you, in order to execute this piece of code, you need to invoke it. Okay, that you can do with function name and the braces.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now I will tell you how the code execution will happen. Okay. So do you remember I told there will be two types, one global execution context will be created, I told, right?
Yes.
1 second, even I am using for the first time. Okay. So this is the global execution context. Okay. And we have some more thing called stack, which is known as call stack. Okay. Call stack means stack is actually called as a data structure, and whenever anything enters, it will go as last. Suppose something enters, it will be stored here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You remember push and pop in the arrays, right? So
Correct, Kamala.
yeah, it's closed here. So if it is pushed, it will only be popped at last. Okay.
Yes.
So whenever any JavaScript is executing, I said there will be two phases, right? Do you remember?
Yes.
One
Yes.
is called as
Yes.
a memory space. Okay. And one more is called code of execution phase. Okay. So it will come to the, for even before a single line of code got executed, what it will do? It will allocate memory space for all the variables and functions. Correct. So what are the variables here? What are the variables
A
in this
and
function?
ANS.
A and
ANS.
ANS.
Yeah. So what it will do, it will first store A. Okay. And what value it will get assigned with?
Equal to undefined first.
Yeah. A will be there and it will be assigned with undefined. Okay. Next, what were there? One function is there, right? What is that function? My name. So
My
if
name.
we have my name as a key, okay, and we will contain a colon, okay, and all the function is saved directly here. Whatever that function we are writing, everything, all the piece of code will be here. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any other lines of code? No, right? So what will happen? First, it will compile this line. So first it will execute let a equal to 5. It will execute in the code of execution phase, and it will remove this undefined and it will assign with the value 5. Okay. Any doubts till now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then
No.
what it will do, it will just see console.log of a. So outside this environment, there will be one thing called console, which you are seeing, right? So basically, this is the console in the developer tools. Correct? So in the console, what will happen? 5 value will be printed. Correct? So whenever any execution context is created, okay, this is global execution context 1. Suppose if we say that will be pushed to the stack as soon as it is created. Okay. So we can say global execution context 1. Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Now what happened? Line number 4, nothing is there. In the line number 5, it is function declaration, right? So it doesn't do anything. It will just execute these lines. That's it. It will just come to the end of this line. Then at the line number 9, nothing is there. At the line number 10, what's happening? We are again invoking the function. Okay. When the function is invoked, again one more global execution context will be created. So we can name it as global execution context 2.
No.
Okay. Whenever any global execution context is created, what will happen? It will be pushed to the stack. So again, this global execution context will have two phases. What is that phase? Memory phase and code of execution phase, correct? So
Yes.
even before the code in the function got executed, it will see inside the function, are there any variables and functions? Okay. Any variables are there?
No. One ANS.
Yes. Variable is there and it is ANS. Okay. And initially what value will get assigned to ANS?
Name.
What value will be assigned to ANS initially?
One. Initially undefined.
Yes.
Define.
Initially it will get assigned with undefined. Okay. Now it will check any other variables or functions were there. Nothing is there. Then it will start executing the code. It will reach line number 6. So in the code execution phase, let ANS equal to 1 will be there. So this undefined will be replaced with 1. Correct? Then what
Yes.
we are doing? We are doing console.log of ANS. So in the console again, ANS value 1 will be printed. Okay. Then it will check any other lines of code is there. No lines of code is there. It reached end of the function. So when we reach end of this function, this global execution context will be no longer available. It is destroyed.
Okay.
Okay. Destroying means it will pop out and there will be only global execution context 1. Okay. Now suppose if I say, if there is one more line, I am done. Okay. Now what will happen? To the console, it will print I am done. And are there any other lines apart from this? No, right? So global execution context 1 also will be getting destroyed. Suppose if we have two functions, for example, function name. Now what will happen? Again, so as soon as we are invoking this function, okay, whenever we invoke this function, a new execution context will be created. And once the function execution was done, that execution context will be removed from the call stack. Understood the concept?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody understood, right?
Yes.
Okay. To tell you, this is actually the call stack. Okay. Suppose if any file is executing, it will show the file name here. If any function is executing, the function name also will be shown here. I will show you in the next class the visual looking at the call stack. Okay.
Okay.
Now I will tell about different types of functions and different keywords we will be using for the function. Okay. Suppose if an interviewer asks you what is function declaration, you need to tell what it is actually, right? Can someone tell me what is function declaration?
Function,
Yes, function.
function name,
Okay.
parenthesis,
Okay.
curly braces open and close. And
Write
within that we will
something.
close.
Yeah, whatever you want to write. Okay. So this is called as function declaration. You are just declaring a function in the JavaScript. You are just writing some piece of code for function. So this is known as function declaration. Okay. And it is also known as function statement. This is function declaration as well as it is also known as function statement. What is function invocation?
Calling that function.
Calling the function is known as function invocation. Basically, you are calling the function with name and braces. So it is known as function invocation. Okay. And we have function expression. Can anyone tell me what is function expression? Any idea, anyone? So in JavaScript, it's possible. Yeah, proceed ahead. What is function expression?
The output of
Okay. Yeah, proceed. Okay. We can even assign a function to variables. Okay. Those are known as function expression. For example, you can have let A and you can assign a function to it. So this is known as function expression. Assigning assigning a variable with some function is known as function expression. Okay. Any doubts, anyone? Now I want to ask you, what is the output of this function?
DFGV.
This is just a console log. What is the use of console log? To print
printing
something
the
in
output.
something
Value.
in the console. It's not related to function, right? Even if it's gives outside, you will tell this file will return this DGF. No. What is the
Undefined.
output of this function? Correct, undefined. As I told, if the function doesn't contain any return value, okay, then it always returns undefined. If you ask what is the return type of this function, we will say it's void. Void means nothing. No return is there. Okay. Suppose if you give let A equal to 5 and you are returning A value, then what is the return value here?
5 will be print.
Yeah, 5 is the
5
return
DF.
value. No, why are you comparing with DLF? It is just a console log. What you are returning here? You are returning A or you are returning something like this? No, right? Console log is just used for printing something in the console. It's not a return.
Okay.
Okay. If we ask about what is the return of this function, whatever is returned with the keyword return, whatever it is returned, it is the return value of that function. Any doubts?
No.
Okay. And we have some stuff called anonymous function. Okay. They will ask you in the interview, what are anonymous functions? Okay. So functions without name are called anonymous functions. Okay. Suppose we have the function keyword and we don't have any name and we are just giving braces. Okay. And we are doing nothing but we are just printing something. So these are called as anonymous function. Why? Because the function doesn't have any name. So it's anonymous. So if you are writing anything in the Quora, right, overflow, Stack Overflow, you will see something called anonymous. You doesn't know the name of that person. Correct. Anonymous commented. Anonymous gave the feedback. You used to get emails when you have the Quora or the Overflow, Stack Overflow accounts. So anonymous means without any name, some unknown person. So anonymous function means function without name are called anonymous functions. Any doubt, anyone? But
No.
in the JavaScript, every function should contain a name. Okay. If you just run this function, you will get an error. So when you actually run it in the Visual Studio Code, right, you will get an error like functions should have the name. This is a syntax error you will give you. So if this is not a piece of code which is runnable, then what's the use of this anonymous function? These anonymous functions are useful when you are assigning it to some variables. Got it? Got it? What is the function here? What is this function here?
Anonymous function.
Yeah, anonymous function. Now, if you a variable, we have assigned this function with a. Okay, if you just execute a, then you will get hello, I am Anusha. Okay, whatever is printed in this function when you call it, the same thing when you access this variable and call it, you will get I am Anusha in the console log. Any doubts, anyone?
No.
Okay. Now we have called named function expressions. What is the function expression? Assigning some function to one variable is called function expression. What is named function expression meaning is that assigning a function which is already having a name. The function here has name, right? So it is called, what it is called as this statement, just this statement. I told you here. What is this? I told
Anonymous.
you.
Anonymous.
Function.
Function declaration.
Function declaration or function statement. Anonymous function is that function without any name. What is the name of the function here? Nothing here, right? Nothing is there before in the braces. Though this is called as anonymous function. But here function expression means assigning an anonymous function to one variable is called function expression. Named function expression is that assigning function with the name or assigning function declaration or function statement is called as named function expression. Any doubts? The difference is that just in the name.
Okay.
Okay. Now we can talk something like what is the difference between the function declaration and function expression? Can anyone tell me what's the difference?
Assigning a function to a variable is function expression.
Okay. For example, even what I will do, sorry. So now these functions are same, right? AB. Okay. Now if I do console.log of AB, okay, you will get some output. And now if I do console.log of ABC, you will get the same output, right? I am Anusha. Okay. So what's the difference here is hoisting. Okay. Suppose if you access this function ABC, okay, even before you have declared it, you remember this execution context, right? Even before a single line of code is executed, for the name ABC, this entire function is saved. Correct? Am I correct? Are you getting it or not? I told here na, even before one single line of code is executed, okay, it will just take the function name and it will store the entire function. Understood or not? Someone reply at least. My throat is paining. So if you just directly access ABC, now what will be the printed? Console.log of A. Suppose if you do console.log of AB, okay, you haven't declared it, right? You haven't initialized it. So what you will get now?
And
Undefined CSV.
error.
Yes, you will get an error. Why? Because when these functions are getting saved in the memory context, how it will save is like, it will first save ABC and all the function code is saved for this. Okay, it will save something like console.log of, okay, ABC. The entire code is saved. And for AB, what it will be stored? Since you have declared it with var keyword or let keyword, okay, it will be just assigned with undefined value. Okay. And now, even before you are assigning some value to it, you are trying to access them. So if you try to access ABC, so it thinks that it's a function, okay, and the entire thing is printed, whatever is there. But for AB, it's just a variable, right? And you are trying to access it like a function. It will give you that AB is a variable, but not a function error. Understood? Yeah, this is the difference between function statement and function expression. Any doubts, anyone? Okay, I will wind up the today's class. So there are some more still a different kinds of functions. I thought of completing it by today. I'll tell in the next class. Okay,
Okay.
any doubts? Till now, anything you want me to explain, or this concept, if you want me to explain again, I can do it.
Explain again, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So I will take someone good editor. Okay. Online painter. So whenever any JavaScript code is executed, what will happen? A global execution context is created, right?
Yes.
So imagine this is the global execution context. Okay. And we have what? How many phases we have?
Memory phase and code of
Memory phase and code of execution.
Memory phase and code of execution phase. Now what's happening? Even before a single piece of code is executed, what will happen? It will allocate memory for variables and functions, correct? So
Yes.
when it saw anything with the word function keyword, so what it will store? It will store A, B, C,
C.
colon, okay, and the code is as it is saved. Okay, the function starts with this curly braces, right? So everything will be saved exactly. Okay, but you have declared AB, you are assigning one function to AB, but right now at the initial stage, what is AB? It's a variable, right? Yes. So what happens? AB will be stored with what is the default value for variables? What is the default value for the variables? What value it will
undefined.
Undefined.
undefined it will assign. Okay. Now, even before not even single line of code got executed, okay, and the first line was getting executed. ABC, and you are calling, this is what? Function invocation, right? You are invoking this ABC function. So
Yes.
ABC is directly stored as a function. And if you invoke ABC, you will directly get the output as I am Anusha.
Yes.
Now this AB is undefined, right? For undefined,
Yes.
for making it an invocation. This braces is used for invocation. You are
Invocation.
thinking AB is a function and you are invoking it. At this point of time, what it actually? It's a variable. You are invoking one variable, which is wrong, right? Only functions you will invoke. So you will get an error stating that AB is an variable and not a function, and you are using braces here. That error you will get. Understood?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Suppose if you place these two lines, okay, after here, now what will happen? So since ABC is already there, so what will happen when it comes to line by line? AB is replaced with undefined and again stored as a function.
Okay.
Okay. Now if you are trying to access AB, then it will print you console.log. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone, any more doubts?
No.
Okay. Yeah, please practice everyone. Okay, it's not for my sake, it's for your sake. If you learn, you will only reach heights in your career. I will not reach anything if you people practice. It's up to you. You are paying money. I am teaching. Okay, for at least
Okay.
the paid, for at least the paid amount, you should learn something, right? That's the only worry I have. Okay.
Okay.
Have a great evening. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.